The room keeps a low, even hush, and I sit inside it without needing to adjust anything. A soft current of air moves along the walls, quiet enough to feel like part of the stillness. I hear the faint breath of the space itself, the small settled sound that never asks to be noticed. The light stays mild on the floor, and the silence around it remains smooth and undisturbed. A distant hum rests somewhere beyond the walls, steady and thin, without pulling my attention away. I keep listening to the small sounds that hold their place, each one quiet, each one complete. The room does not ask for focus. It only offers a gentle field of sound to remain with. I hear the soft weight of stillness and the way it settles across the open space. The quiet near me feels even, and the quiet farther away feels just as calm. A faint shift in the air reaches my ears, then returns to the same resting level. I stay with the room as it is, hearing how little it needs in order to feel full. The walls carry a hush that never changes shape, and that steadiness makes the room feel settled. I hear a distant sound outside, softened by glass and space, then folded back into the calm. Nothing in the room competes with anything else, and the silence stays balanced from edge to edge. The light remains soft enough to notice, and quiet enough to leave the room undisturbed. I listen to the space between small sounds, and that space feels as present as the sounds themselves. A low room tone lingers beneath everything, gentle and continuous, like a surface that does not shift. I stay where I am, and the calm around me stays where it is. The stillness holds a slight texture of sound, barely there, yet easy to remain with. I hear the room in layers, near silence, distant hum, soft air, all of it resting together. Nothing sharp enters the space, and nothing in me needs to prepare for anything louder. The quiet has a settled shape, and I remain aware of it without trying to define it. A soft sound beyond the room passes lightly, then leaves the balance unchanged. I keep listening in the same way, without narrowing or chasing any single thing. The room tone stays low and level, and that steadiness gives the silence a gentle body. I notice how sound rests against the corners, softer there, though still part of the same calm. The floor stays still beneath the light, and the air above it carries only quiet movement. I hear a small house sound somewhere distant, muted enough to belong to the background completely. Nothing asks to be interpreted, and nothing here leans toward urgency. The room remains simple in its quiet, and I remain simple in the way I listen. A thin sound beyond the window moves past without weight, then leaves the room as it was. I hear the low softness of enclosed space, and that softness stays consistent from moment to moment. The silence does not empty the room. It lets the room stay gently occupied. I keep my attention loose, and the room meets it with the same even sound. A mild brightness rests on one side of the room, visible without becoming sharp. The quiet stays close to the floor and the walls, and the air carries it without effort. I hear the small difference between distant sound and nearby hush, and both remain gentle. Nothing in the room seeks to stand apart, and that makes every sound easier to receive. The calm here feels ordinary in the best way, plain, steady, and easy to remain inside. A faint movement of air touches the edges of the room, then settles into the same resting tone. I listen to the mild continuity of it all, the way one quiet thing meets another quietly. The light stays dim enough to soften the space, and the softening never turns uncertain. I hear the room without needing to search it, and that ease keeps my breathing unforced. A distant mechanical note holds one pitch somewhere far off, then stays there without change. The silence around that sound remains gentle, and the room does not tighten around it. I stay aware of the room as a whole, not in parts, and that makes it feel more settled. The air carries quiet evenly, and I hear no corner asking for more attention than another. A small sound outside fades into distance, not by force, but by simple lack of weight. The room remains visible in soft lines, enough light to rest the eyes without drawing them outward. I hear the low presence of stillness, and it stays present without becoming heavy. Nothing in the room suggests movement, and nothing in the quiet suggests absence either. The calm has enough sound to be felt, and enough silence to remain open. I keep listening to the room tone that sits under everything, even the moments that seem soundless. A mild brightness on the wall stays fixed, giving the room a quiet outline. I hear the way enclosed air holds sound close, softening every faint trace that enters. The room seems content to remain plain, and I find that plainness easy to stay near.